What's up, everybody? Think I'm on. Yay! G, what's up there? Stardust, right? You missed the Freaky Troll Friday. It was pretty wild. But it was a good night otherwise. Beyond the freaky trolls. We did all right. We did all right. There you go. Evan Kelly, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. I have literally nothing planned at all. I tried to make a set list or something. I didn't even get time. Working on the song of the week. Always I'm like right at the very end of it. Right before the stream, like just about finishing everything. So there you have it. So we got nothing planned. We're just gonna play around. I'm trying to figure out this riff. Stardust wanted me to learn, and I think I got it in my head. I seem to hear it a couple of times. But, yeah, what's that tune called? So we're just going to mess around today. Let's do whatever we want to do. Let me see. All right. What's going on around here? Peace, what's up? Good to see you. Much love to you. Thank you so much. Perfect timing for housework and listening to Rick Shred. There you go. That's good time. What time is it there? It's like I'm gonna say it was about 11 in the morning right there. 11 a.m. If I remember. Let's play some stuff. I'm just gonna kind of run through some stuff I haven't played in a while. I'm just gonna look through and see what we got here and see what happens. Let me see what this is. This is Stardust's favorite. played that in a long while. That's a nice little warmer-upper. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's see. Juji says, finally some typo. Here's a guide. I'll try and figure it. I'm going to try and figure it out here. A little bit. Chris Liggett, what's up, brother? Good to see you. SpaceX knows it's always a good day when Rick starts the stream. Appreciate that, brother. Evan's at work? Where are you at working? Where are you working? Peace knows it's time to listen. Absolutely appreciate that. Let's see. Evan, yeah, hopefully we're going to try and crank up the acoustic tonight for sure. Evan said he's typing instead of doing dishes. You better get them dishes clean, man. Ken Kramer, what's up, buddy? Good to see you there. Derail in the house. Happy Saturday to you. Good to see you, buddy. Chris Arsenal, how's it going? George Kaplan, what's up, dude? Good to see you, too. All right. Let's see what else I can find. I'll probably do... I got so many songs in here. There's so many songs I have not played in a minute, so we're going to try and figure out some here. What's this one? No, not that one. Where is this? Let's see what we got. I'm trying to find some weird stuff. Just some weird stuff. Let's see what we got. That ain't it either. I have so many tunes in here. It's just unbelievable how many songs are in here. We might try that one later. Let's see. I'll do this one. I know Juji enjoys this one, so we'll play this one. That's a nice song. It's just got a nice feel to it, the whole thing. Made a couple of mistakes there, but I try. Oh, let's see. Darrell said he was at a Guitar Center today. What you looking at over there today? That sounds fun, man. I haven't been to the Guitar Center or any guitar store for so long. But yeah, I get everything from Sweetwater. I just order it and they ship it right to my door. But I haven't been. I swear I haven't been to a Guitar Center since probably 2011, I think. Oh, let's see. Feisty in the house. He said, "What are you eating under there?" I ain't eating nothing. I'm already hungry. Evan K said, "What Rick's wearing? Green shorts first time. He's not wearing all black. He'll be wearing salmon pink next time." Yeah. Well, today, if you didn't know, let me see if you can see. Yeah, see, these are Mercedes Petronas AMG shorts because George Russell, the driver of the Mercedes car, was on pole position today in Canada. So I wear it in honor of him and the team. So yeah, usually it's all black. All black shorts, like all black all the time for sure. That's how we roll. You know how it goes. But no, I don't think I'll be wearing pink anytime soon. I don't even own one pink thing. The pinkest thing I have is the Rainbow Rising t-shirt. It's got like a big rainbow on it. That's about as crazy as it gets. Juji knew that was new 1010. You got it. Evan said you need another coffee already. That's right. It's morning for you. Juji says she wished she could have some ice cream today, but tomorrow probably better weather-wise. There you go. Thank you, Darrell. Juji's feeling that. There you go. Oh, let's see. George said, "What's the title of this one? I'm digging everything about it." Thanks, George. It doesn't have a title per se. It's called New 1010 when I wrote it. So, yeah. But, yeah, New 1010. If you remember that, that's the one. P said, "Yesterday I introduced you to my friends. We're from North Africa, and we become captivated by your playing. And always listen. That's awesome, Peace. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate that." And he says, "Sorry, my English is not good because I speak French. That's not a problem." Well, bonjour and comment allez-vous? Merci beaucoup to you, my friend. Thank you so much. Don't ever worry about it. I've had the pleasure of speaking to many people around the world in my lifetime, and they don't speak English. So I can understand sentencing and things like that. So I can always figure it out. So no problem, my friend. Appreciate you. Darrell said he ain't got kicked out yet. There you go, buddy. They say, yeah, what the Guitar Center said, they did a study and they said, out of 10 people who buy a guitar, 9 will quit in a year. So they're probably loving anyone that comes in there. They're like, come on in. No One Summer, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well tonight. That was funny. All right, let's see what else we can drum up here. Oh, we get to play. Juji didn't get to hear this song the other day. Because this was, when we played this, Monday or Wednesday? I can't remember what day we played this, but I don't think Juji got to hear this one, so we'll play this one. This is based off of, what is this based off of? I think it's a Mozart piano sonata in D minor is where I got the little melody from. I didn't build the song around that, but yeah, this one's called The Return. There's a band I've got coming soon. We have an album pretty much done. It's just being the mixing stages right now. We're called Holmes and Slice. That's basically me and the bass player, my good friend Rich. And this is one of the songs. This is a demo version I have, but the album is done. Just in the final mixing process of it. And once it is done, we'll be really pumping out the promotion for it. That's a really cool record. But this is one of the really cool tracks on there. It's called The Return, so let's give it a shot. have it, The Return. That's a really cool song. But yeah, I think I listened to a lot of classical music, and I just sat around like playing some stuff, and like I heard that little melody, the do 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 do. I was like, whoa, that's cool. Mozart's the man. So yeah, there's a little bit piece, not as crazy as Symphony 40, but a little different for sure. Just enough, just enough. Sweeter Sweet in the house. He says, make that guitar sing. You know how we do, buddy. Thank you so much. Thank you, Peace. Thank you, Juji. Evan said he speaks Australian, so good day, mate. We speak the language of guitar. Here, you know that's right, bud. Juji likes it. Holmes and Slice. I don't know if I have the picture of it somewhere. Maybe I do. I have to see. There you go, Juji. Chris, appreciate that, man. Sweeter Sweet says, where you learn how to play the guitar? I went to a guitar store. I went to Akron Music in Akron, Ohio. I took lessons for 2 years from 2 different teachers. So, and I taught everyone, if you're trying to learn guitar, go find a teacher. The teacher is going to be the best thing to have because he can give you a lesson every week. You can learn that lesson. You can practice that lesson. You go back. He approves of that what you've done. Gives you another thing to learn. Every week you're learning something new. And that's what that was best for me. Juji, that was called The Return, the song. Yeah, it's going to be off the Holmes and Slice album there. It should be good. Evan says, are your settings the same today, Rick? My ears picking up maybe a wee bit more reverb in a good way. More concert church sounding from the room filling. I don't know. No, I don't. Nothing. I think this setup is slightly different volumes, I think. Something weird. I try to keep it almost exactly the same. But yeah, there might be a little difference in this one. There's a little better sound quality, I think, in this one. The horizontal version. Not to say the vertical version is bad or anything, but yeah, this one's got a little more stereo. I think it's because of, I can run it in stereo on here. And I think the vertical, I'm sure, I think the vertical lets you run mono only. I'm not too sure though, but it's YouTube that compresses the vertical style. This one they let you pretty much run free with the vertical or the horizontal style here. So it's pretty cool. So we get a little bit more of a better sound. Juji says, I know there are lots of musicians in Florida, but my dad's friend's son, Gary Joseph Potter Jr. is an amazing guitar player, a teacher also. That's awesome. I'm not a good teacher, I don't think. I mean, I can show people stuff, but I'm not the type of person to have a lesson plan. There's people on YouTube here, like a good friend of mine, Lester Mitchell is awesome. He knows how to teach. That's what he does. He knows how to do that. I just show people stuff. That's about it. But I'm not a person I don't like to push people to do stuff. It's like because people have to push themselves, and I look at it and I feel bad. If they're not learning because they're not working on it. It kind of makes me go, what am I doing then? If you're not going to learn what I show you, then what's the point? And a lot of people are like that. I tried to give lessons a long time ago. Like I got fired from a job in like 96 or 97, I think it was. And it was because I didn't show up for work and I didn't call in or whatever. I was like, I thought I was, I could get away with anything. And they're like, no, that's enough. And so I was like looking for ways to make money. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just do guitar lessons or whatever. And I had this whole lesson plan set up. I had everything going. I had a couple students to start off with. And they were just like, all right, well, I'll say here, I show them how to play this and learn this and come back next week. I want you to know it exactly. And they come back and like, how's it going? And they're like, they can't even play what I showed them. I'm like, what happened? Well, I got busy all week. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not going to take your money every week if you're not going to work on this stuff. This got stupid for me. So it's kind of a bad vibe. But I'd like to try and do like some master classes, where I have a bunch of people, like 6 to 8 people in one shot and kind of go through there. I'm still trying to work out the logistics for that. There's a lot of people around the world that want to learn, but it just depends. But Judy said, it's awesome. You always seem open to show people what you do. Yeah, absolutely. I have nothing to hide, honestly. I'm more than happy to show people anything. Indeed, Judy, it was a bit frustrating. I can't, my moral fiber can't do that. I can't. If you're not going to learn this stuff, then I don't see the point in it. But some people will. They'll take your money. They don't care. They'll take your money every week. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's try and find some weird stuff. What's this one? I don't think I played this one in a while. All right. I don't remember the key of this. We're gonna see what this one sounds like. That's a crazy weird song. We're gonna try to play all the weird stuff I don't play. Let's see what we got here. Evan says I can play really good, but my theory sucks. Guitar teachers need theory, not licks and riff to teach. True that, man. Yeah, that's all my teacher taught me. You know, I was like, I want to learn Judas Priest and Yngwie and all this stuff, and he's like, well, if you want to learn from me, but you're gonna learn all this theory stuff, and it was constant every week. It was something new theory-wise. So a whole year of theory, and he, you know, if I did good, he'd like, if I wanted to learn a riff, he'd figure it out for me, something like that. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it was nothing but theory. And that's why I got really smart at it after a year of that. And then I took another year after that with a different teacher. It was more shreds focused, you know. And that helped me refine my playing style and, you know, really take what I learned from the theory guy and kind of apply it to musical and writing songs and stuff. My second teacher was really good about that. And then right after that, I just went right to college and started taking classes there. So it just enhanced my theory knowledge even further. So let's see. Donald says, "What's up? It's anything goes Saturday." It is. I got nothing. I do have a song of the week. I don't know how that's gonna go, but I do have something for the song of the week. Another heavy one. Another real. I think it's drop C sharp minor. I tried this one on. But yeah, pretty well. Nashi Kid in the house. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Nashi Kid said that was some great feel. Appreciate that, man. I haven't played that song in forever. So I'm trying to go through songs I've never even touched in a long time. So we're gonna see what we got here. Donald says, "What have you mostly learned in music theory?" The circle of fifths is basically the mode, circle of fifths, all the chords, how to build chords, how to build scales, how to use the circle of fifths in a proper way to, you know, alternate keys and things like that. And I did a lot of when I did classical music, we did a lot of stuff on, you know, composing, like how the composers wrote their songs, how to break them down and understand each part, and how many parts there were to, you know, a symphony or something like that, as far as, you know, like almost like a song, like a verse, intro, verse, chorus, things like that. Is a little different for symphonies and orchestras, but yeah, it was a lot of stuff, man. I had another class called fretboard harmony that was really cool. Yeah, basically had us working on understanding every note on the guitar, how to be able to play any note on the guitar, figure out what it is quickly, things like that, and it was pretty cool, man. Donald says, "Yeah, haven't internalized the circle of fifths." Thanks, Nashi. Yeah, the circle of fifths, I mean, real quick, I mean, I can show you. I mean, this is, if you think about it, and this is the thing that freaks people out. They don't understand is that modes are all the same. They're the same scale. There's no difference. Just because it's called a mode doesn't mean anything different. It's just starting on a different note. So, say for instance, like this. Well, this is if you're playing in standard tuning, this would be an A, but I'll call this A. It's actually a G. But a normal A minor scale or an Aeolian mode is this: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Right? And then the next one is B, Locrian. And the next one after that is C, Ionian. And then you got D, Dorian. And then you got E, Phrygian. Then you got F, Lydian. And then you got G, Mixolydian. So I basically just played all the modes in this section from the 5th fret to the 8th fret. I just played all the modes, just like that. And that's it. And when you want to, so what you want to take with that is then try to understand the modes on the next fret. So if I was doing A minor or Aeolian again, right? And then I play the same exact notes except starting on B, but I'm moving up. B, but B Locrian. And then C Ionian. Then Dorian D. And then E Phrygian. And then F Lydian. And G Mixolydian. And then A. And then you're back to Aeolian again. So basically, I just played all the modes from the 5th fret to the 17th fret. I'm sorry, the 19th fret. That's all the modes. It's the same exact notes. There was no difference, except the patterns changed. But otherwise, the notes are the same. So now, if you can understand that if you can memorize those patterns, and obviously you got E, F, and G up here as well. So you want to learn all the patterns across the entire neck, and then all you have to do beyond that is change the key. So if I say, okay, I'm going to play an A sharp Aeolian, then you're just going to play the same exact stuff in A sharp. So here's A sharp, and then there's, instead of B Locrian, it becomes C Locrian, and then so on and so forth. So that's where the circle of fifths comes into play. So if you start with the first patterns I showed you, that's the top of the circle, A minor or C major, then it goes to E, and basically after that you're just adding, essentially adding a sharp note to everything. But yeah, it's not too complicated, but if you can remember those patterns starting on A, you're good to go, man. Let's see. Evan says drop C sharp. That's death chord territory. You know that's right. Evan says it's like learning a new language. It is. Nashiked knows same notes, different key, tonal center. Absolutely, buddy. And he says, how does that correspond to every fifth note? That's a great question. So let's check it out. So the top of the circle starts with A minor, C major. I like minor. So A, if you count the notes, A, 1, 2, B, 3, C, 4, D, 5. 5 is E. So A, the fifth of A is E. So that's the next spot on the circle of fifths. And it just goes on from there. So then you have to figure out. So E, so when you get to E, the next one is B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you got B. 1, 2, 3. Then you got F sharp. So it's just, you just keep going up the fifth. So if you count those numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your fifth. That's your next spot on the circle of fifths. See, Evan says it's just starting in a different root mode. Yeah, exactly. I'll say, you never have to give a lesson. It's fine by me. It's wide open season tonight, bro. Nashiked says being able to hear the modal sounds is important. Absolutely, buddy. Laura Bachloon, how you doing? Good to see you. Nashiked says I'm a slowpoke on guitar, but I know some theory. There you go. Don says, okay, so you just changed the key. Very good. Yeah, absolutely. And that's how you practice it. You know, I would say start with that A, you know, all the A ones. Learn that pattern exactly. Memorize that pattern. And it's all just adding that, just changing, just not even, you don't even have to change anything. You just make sure that you remember that pattern, how that pattern goes, then you move it, just move the whole pattern to the next thing. That's pretty cool. Donald said he never took music theory, but I don't know, but I do know all the modes. There you go. There's, like I said, the modes are just names, essentially. They're just names to help you kind of remember what that pattern is, you know. But yeah, other than that, dude, that's it, man. It's not too crazy. But once you understand that and you can get the first couple keys going, it'll start to sink in. Evan says, you're playing guitar more like a piano than 6-line notes. Exactly, yeah, absolutely. I would say that's a great way to show it. If I could have my keyboard here, you could see it's just, you're playing the exact same notes. Pretty wild. But yeah, there's a quick theory lesson for anyone. I'll try and do it fast. Oh, let's see. All right, we gotta find some more tunes here. We're already flying through the night. Let's see, what haven't we played in a while? Let's see. All right, let's see if we can find some weird stuff here. All right, that sounds wild. Let's try this one. I think it's key V. crazy. I forgot that song's like 210 beats per minute. 210 beats per minute. That's pretty fast. I think that's the fastest song I do have in my playlist. I totally forgot how fast I was. All right. You got to take a sip of the drink out of that one. That was a little more bumpy than I expected. T-Bird, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Juji says she took theory for 2 years, and since I don't use it, it's gone. Yeah, that's how it goes. Trust me, when I was like traveling and touring in Europe and stuff, and Germany was one of our biggest countries we go to. I started learning a lot of German. I could speak German very, very well, and I knew a lot of phrases, and I could get around. And then 20 years later, I don't speak German every day all the time, so I forgot a lot of it. So yeah, when you learn something and you don't use it, you'll lose it for sure. Nashi Cat said, it gets crazy when you get to modes of the melodic minor. Hey, absolutely, man. It gets even more crazy there. Thanks, Nashi Cat. There you go, Juji. Donald's like, holy just smack. There you go. T-Bird, there you go, buddy. Mark Williams, appreciate it, my man. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Good to see you there. David Montoya, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Nashi Cat said, it's like a flamethrower pointed right at you. I know, right? I wasn't expecting one. I couldn't remember it. I was like, oh, I can't remember the first part. But then, yeah, that went off the chain, man. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Nashi Cat, thank you, buddy. Don said, remember at the end of that Indiana Jones when they opened the Ark? That's what happened to my face. True that. That's a good one. That's one of my favorites, too. Evan says that middle piano part was really nice. Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, that was a sort of nice little prelude. What do I got here? I'll play without the music so you can kind of hear, or play without the guitar so you can kind of hear. It was kind of cool. Me and my harpsichord. I love the harpsichord. If I could have a harpsichord for real, I would love to have one just sitting around hanging out. And then it just goes into the blast. Basically the same chord progression, just with everything. But yeah, that's a wild little part. I enjoyed that one. I need to get back to my keyboard. I haven't wrote a lot of keyboard stuff recently. What's this one? Okay, that's some weird thing there. Let's delve deeper into the madness of these songs. There's one I haven't played in a while. I was thinking about playing. Oh, let's see, where is it at? I haven't played this one in a while. Cue this one up. This was actually a bonus track to my album and never surfaced anywhere, so we'll play that one next. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. There you go, Donald. Just like Bach. Absolutely, yeah. Bach, man, I love those. Some of those Bach harpsichords are my favorite stuff to listen to. I used to listen to those Bach. I had a tape, Bach's Chromatic Fantasia. That thing was like, I just listened to that over and over and over and over. I loved listening to it. Yeah, so cool. All right, let's see. I will play one more, and then we'll do that new song of the week. See what kind of devastation we can do with that one. How much longer? Can't remember this key. I think it's that. All right, let's try this one out. It's called How Much Longer, by the way. I didn't say the name of it. Yeah, it's almost called How Much Longer. It was a bonus track on my, or it's going to be a bonus track for my solo album, but never made it. Never made it out. We did the demo for it, but I never recorded it. I didn't have time, so instead, me and Richard did the Family King Diamond, the Family Ghost as a bonus track, and that didn't make it either. Just ran out of time and money. That's how it worked back then. Never had enough time. What? Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Evan said, I like black metal because of the classical influences like Dimmu, Dissection. But yeah, they definitely got some of that in there for sure. Thank you, Mark. Evan says, Bach and Black. Love it. There you go, man. Yeah, not your cat. Got that one right. Judy said, as I get older, I like more styles of music. True that. Yeah, I think I wasn't, I don't listen to too much anymore. I pretty much listened to what I listened to when I was young and picked up a few things along the way, but nowadays I'm just like so stuck on what I used to listen to. It's like I don't want to hear new stuff. It's hard to hear new stuff because I don't want to influence my brain and write in the style of some of these new ways some of the new stuff is or whatever. So I usually, if I try and if someone says, "Oh, go listen to this song," I will like listen to it, but I won't hear it. If that makes sense to you. Nashiket, thank you, Laura. Evan says yes to Christian Mel. Yeah. There you go, Juji. Mark said you should perform with Queen the band. That'd be nice. I would be mad at that. That'd be a cool gig right there. Thank you, Nashiket. Prepper 101, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you there. Evan said, the only music I hate is country and 90% of opera. Yeah, I don't mind opera at all. I know Stardust doesn't like it, so I don't listen to it when she's around. Because I like Mozart's the Magic Flute. That's a sweet killer opera. But yeah, I can only listen to it in my car. Nashiket knows what you listen to comes out in the hands subconsciously. Yeah, it does. So I try not to hear it. If I listen, I just like don't let my brain process it. Just kind of let it go in one ear out the other. Because a lot of people are like, hey man, go listen to this, go listen to that, go listen. I was like, I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to influence. I don't want to move my influence the wrong way. No worries. All right, let's see. All right, we'll try this new song. I don't know. I'll probably try a couple more after this, but we'll knock this new song out and see what it sounds like. There's one part I'm not too sure if I can't remember it. I don't know, man. I put like a real wild key change in it for like this Andy LaRock part. Hopefully I remember it. Let's see. I think it's like that. Okay, we'll get it. We'll try it out. See where it goes. I don't even know. I got to play maybe like a minute of it before the show, so let's see what happens. Crazy weird, crazy weird. I don't know. That's some other riffs I found sitting around in the archives. Like, you know what, I'll make this one too. You never know what you're gonna make when you sit down and write some stuff. That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, let's see. Oh. Oh, there you go. Mark was feeling that one there. It was a oops, sorry, except for Willie Nelson, but that's just for the number. There you go. I listen to some country here and there, like Brad Paisley. I like a country that has really good guitar players. Like Brad Paisley is a really amazing country guitar player. Like Roy Clark. I used to watch Hee Haw when I was a kid. My dad was really into country music. Or had that country music, era of his life or whatever. So we always listen to country music stations. I heard a lot of it. There you go, Mark. Thanks, Prepper. Evan says the traveling Wilburys country. I don't know. I guess a little bit. A slight, I guess. I wasn't country, the full country music award type stuff. It had a vibe to it for sure. Roy Orbison, yeah, for sure. Mark said he played drums with my brother's band, Plaid Goat. There you go, man. Evan knows Roy was a legend. He was. There you go. Juji said, that rocks hard. Go, Rick. There you go. It's an interesting one. Like I said, I didn't have time to really mess with it. Kind of rehashing a lot of those parts. I gotta sit down and make some parts for that. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, Nashiket. James Lara, what's up, buddy? Thank you so much. Appreciate that. T-Bird said, you're going to start a new metal band. There you go, brother. Laura Backlund says, rock on, Rick. Thank you, Laura. Don says, I'm kind of mesmerized. That was a wild one, for sure. Nashiket, just loving the use of both whammy vibrato and the fretted vibrato. Super subtle and effective. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Prepper. There you go, Nashiket. Judy said, I had a small garage band named the Bad Daddies. There you go. I think so. When I was 16, I was looking for a band. I've jammed with a bunch of different people, and then we had this is back in the day when you had the newspaper or the local music magazine, and they had ads like looking for a guitar player, looking for a bass player, looking for this, looking for that, whatever. And I found one that said drummer looking for a guitar player, bass player. I called it up, and I was it was this dude named Mark. He had basically his drum set up in the basement. He drummed and sang. He could do drumming and singing. So I was like, we got that covered. And then we found another guitar player and a bass player, and we started writing tunes and this and that and learning covers. And the band was called Shattered Innocence. There was a movie. There was I can't remember the girl's name, but there was this one 80s girl, that was hot or whatever. And we were, and I was 16 years old or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, that chick's hot, man. And this other dude, I love that movie, man. Only because of that chick. I was like, yeah, for sure. Then it was like, we'll call the band Shattered Innocence. I was like, all right, that's cool. It was a stupid name. It was a stupid band name, honestly. Shattered Innocence. We even had a song called that too. I've got the demo somewhere around here somewhere. And then that turned into, we got a singer, and we turned the band name into China Blue. It was okay, and then we kicked that singer out after a while, and then we got a different singer, and we did mostly covers, like Iron Maiden and stuff like that, and we called ourselves Bastille, the Bastille Day. And then pretty much we turned that band into Wicked Ways, and then Wicked Ways was doing pretty good in Ohio. We moved to Florida. Took us a while. We got pretty big in Florida too. And then that band disbanded. So that was the extent of my local bands or whatever since I was 16. It was pretty wild. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that, brother. Heather B in the house. Happy Saturday to you. Hope you've been doing good. Good to see you. Thanks, Mark. Evan says, Absu black metal band and the drummer sing from America. There you go. Yeah, I never knew how to do it, man. He wasn't the greatest singer. He was pretty good, but he wasn't great. We needed someone up front, because he was behind the kit singing and stuff and trying to drum. He didn't do a bad job or anything like that, but man, we needed someone out front. So we finally found a singer who could, and we started. I think that's what turned it into China Blue, because the drummer and the singer didn't mix well. They were kind of at odds at sometimes. So we found a different drummer who was perfect. You know, it was more progressive, and then we started doing the Queensryche and the more stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Bill Smith, how's it going, bro? Good to see you, man. Juji, there you go. Nashi Kid says middle names are always something. I know, right? And then I went to Leash Law, the band from 2004. Me and Wade Black had called Leash Law, and then let me think. And then in 2011, when I moved down to the west side of Florida, we started another band. At first, it was called Black Rain because his name was Wade Black, but then there was some other band like that, and then he said, well, let's try War Machine. And it was like, well, there's another band called War Machine. And I was like, wow, and I was super into Game of Thrones. And I was like, what about War of Thrones? And we're like, okay, we'll do War of Thrones. And that's how that one turned out. Too funny. Glenn Kamada, how you doing, brother? I'm doing great, man. Hope you're doing well tonight. Juji said, could you riff some Whitesnake? Had it stuck in my head. I only have that one tune. I only know that one. I can play it for you. We'll do our John Sykes tribute. Let's see if I have it. I think I got it right here. No, that's still got the blues. I swear, man, this setup for the weekends is so much different than my daily setup. Maybe that was it. What is this? Sniffing around your door. That's a great one. That's a great solo too. Unbelievable solo. Let's see. Mark says we can make so much money together, and I'll share the pride with you. How's that? I could use some money. Let me know what you got. Juji said, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There you go, Nashi Kit. We used to play that song way back in the day too, man. Like, I think I learned that song when I was probably 17 years old. We played that. It was fun to play. We played that, and I think we played Bad Boys, I think. Know me. Something like that. Stu Petty, what's up, buddy? Mark, I have no idea what you got. Well, I have no idea what you got going on, buddy. But I could use money. Everyone uses money. But that's what we're trying to do. Try to make enough money to record a record and go on tour. Looking at $100,000 to do all that, probably. But we're going to try. We'll get it somehow, some way. All right, what else I got? We got anything cool here? I'll break out the old acoustic. What was the other one? Where's that song? Oh yeah, let's try to see this one. How's this one go? see if I remember this one. originally wrote that for my best friend who played bass, and I was like, we're trying to find a way, like, we need to get you like a bass song, you know, something you can just totally shred over. And I wrote this piece for him, but yeah, he kind of was working on it, and it never came to fruition. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna use it then. I'm gonna take this and use it for myself. But that's pretty wild though. Very ethereal sounding and whatnot. Okay. T-Bird said, Rick almost needs a foot switch to stop and start music. I know, right? I could probably get one of those. They probably have one of those out there. You said I said they were having a huge rally today. Couldn't tell what it was about though. Everyone had different things. Yeah, there was something weird No King's Day or something. Stardust saw in the news. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what all that junk's about. The protesters are, I don't know. I mean, you could do what you want, man, but protesting doesn't do much. It doesn't change much, but you can do whatever you want. That's for sure. Thank you, Glenn. Let's see. Juji, there you go. Thank you, Nashiket. Appreciate that. Kebzanek, thank you very much. I appreciate that comment. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Very nice, very nice. What was this other tune? What do you got? 1021? All right, we might be able to pull one more off. What do we got? You know, I haven't played. I need to play Requiem for the Lost. It is Father's Day today. Is it Father's? No, it's Father's Day tomorrow. Or is it Father's Day today? I don't remember. Let's see. My dad passed away a long, long time ago, so I don't remember what Father's Day is anymore, honestly. But I know there's a lot of fathers out there that are still alive, so God bless them for sure. And I know we said, we had someone in the chat yesterday, they said they just lost their father just right before Father's Day. So I know how that goes, and a lot of people have the same in their lives. So we'll do Requiem for the Lost for the last electric song here. And then we'll get to it. But yeah, God bless all the fathers out there, past or present. Appreciate all of them. You know, you wouldn't be here if you didn't have a father. Ain't that the truth? And same with the mothers. When it's Mother's Day, we gotta thank the mothers too. Let's give this one a shot and play this one. I could play this one all week actually, but you know this is a good one. Let's give it a roll here. Requiem for the Lost. pretty wild. I don't know what happened there. It's like I just drifted off into another world during that song. Very crazy. That's one of those tunes, you know, you just like play it and then you just are not there. You know, you are not there. You're not present. Something else is out there. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. All right, let's see. Let's see. A lot of tunes. Warhard Arts, what's up, buddy? Good to see you there. Feisty said, what's the name of that one? That was called, if it was the song I was just playing, that was Requiem for the Lost. Let's see. Evan says, my crybaby has a volume controller as a... Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, volume pedal. I used to have one. I used to buy crybabies to try them for like 20 minutes. Like, that was cool. And then sell them. They're gone. Necro, Comic-Con, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing good, my friend. T-Bird said he don't want to even hear about tomorrow. I feel you, brother. I feel you, dude. Judy said, my stepdad's taking me to get my x-rays tomorrow. I wish I could do more than just buy him a coffee. I feel you. I feel you. Kibzonic said, Rick, what guitar do you use now? I use these Jacksons. I have 5 of these Jackson Dinky Reverse Pros. They're from 1992. They have the 9.2 on the back of the cereal plate. This is the first production from the Japanese factory in 1992. The ones with the 9.2 on the back. So these are the ones I'm always looking for. If I said all the fathers that got screwed out of their money and kids, I feel you there, man. I got screwed. We didn't have much. My mom had to go get a job and everything, man. Had to go learn a new trade, craft, or whatever. She did well for herself, I gotta say. But man, my dad took care of everything. He made all the money, took care of everything. And when he was gone, we had to start from zero, man. And I was not probably the best son after that. My mom, I was a handful to my mom, I know. Judy said her dad traded his dad traded a bicycle for a kayak for her on her birthday. Now see, that's awesome right there. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that, brother. Anti's got the message there. Welcome all visiting peacefully from around the world. Rock steady. He says, great to have seen so many of the usual suspects here. There you go. Requiem for the Lost. Fly free forever, Dad. Indeed, indeed. Evan said, he air drumming with the cooking utensils. Clean up the kitchen. There you go, man. Now she gets that. I said that volume swell that's my favorite volume swell technique. Absolutely, man. That's a beautiful thing. I really like doing it. It's perfect for that song. I don't use it too often, you know, but that's a classic. Thank you, Nashi Kid. Down James said, I'm glad I quit drinking before my lyrics, but I feel you there, brother. I'm glad I stopped doing that, drinking and drugs and all that stuff, man. I don't, you never know, man. I know a lot of people do that kind of stuff, and that's fine, but for me, I'm glad I stopped. There's a point in your life where you need to stop that stuff. The drinking and the drugs and stuff. It's just not going to get you anywhere. And I'm glad I did. I was probably out of running low on brain cells as it was, and luckily I've kept enough to keep going. Thank you, Juji. Mark, I've heard of them. I don't get into them at all now. Not at all. Nashi Kid, thanks, buddy. Juji got that long hair, so when she rocks, I swings the braid around. There you go. Oh, the song before? What was the song before? Wow. Feisty, I'm not sure, buddy. What did I play before that? I can't remember. I have no set list tonight. I've just been throwing stuff down. Shoot, I don't know. I can't think of it. I'll have to watch it and I'll let you know. I have no idea what I was playing. I've been playing all kinds of weird stuff tonight. If I said the bass player backed out on, I'm not sure, dude. I'm probably lost, man. I'm totally lost. Let's see. What's anti got tonight? Grass-fed Red's Munster cheeseburgers, real bacon and eggs with sharp tray. That's not like a breakfast burger with them eggs. You all about those eggs, man. Okay. We had our Culvers today, so we had our lovely hamburgers tonight for sure. It says if you try a crybaby again, Rick, try using it with the opposite foot. You would normally. It used to work for me. No, it's not like that. Nothing like that. It was just I'd play with it, like wah, 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 whatever, do some Jimi Hendrix sounds and some some bluesy stuff. Like, well, that was fun for 20 minutes. And I was like, yeah. And I always sell them. I'd buy them and sell them because it was just fun for like 20 minutes for me. Wasn't anything fun. Feisty, that's true, man. Yeah, that's true, man. I had to become a man real fast. I had to grow up real quick. Back then I was probably 14 years old when that all happened. So yeah, I had to really, really grow up fast. Oh, that's cool, Mark. Yeah, I don't get into that stuff, man. So what is that EDM kind of stuff? Never got into it. Maybe when I was getting wasted in a club or something like that. We go to like some dance clubs. They have these dance EDM stuff or whatever, DJs and all that crap. But I was probably wasted out of my mind anyway. That a long time ago. Kev Song says, you still play games? Yeah, we play all the time. Right? We're playing, what are we playing right now? Play Fallout 76 a lot, Elder Scrolls Online, this game called Palia we've been playing. We play a game called Farm Together too, that's super fun. And what's the other one? The best one lately is that Police Simulator. That is hilarious. We love playing that one. Real quick, I gotta figure this out real fast for Juji and Stardust because they're all about this stuff. Let me see. Let's see if I can play it real quick. Christian woman, typo negative. There you go. Let's see. Anti says, don't hate the eggs, hate the layer. True that. Axe Tester, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thank you, Mark. Don says, you ever play Tekken against Stardust? No, we don't. No, we don't. I don't think we play any of those like Mortal Kombat or Tekken or anything like stuff like that. Call of Duty is probably the biggest one we do. If I said you were saying you wrote the song for the bass player to... Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. That was called... it's called Home Sonata. That's what it's written down as in my thing. But yeah, Holmes, like Holmes, HOLMESONATA, Home Sonata. Yeah, that was okay. That's that one. Yeah, that's a cool one. But yeah, super classical, very. Yeah, I don't even know. And then I wrote it with the drums and with our drummer in mind. But yeah, it's never came out. If I said if youth knew, if could age, true that. Evan's playing that Clash of Clans. I never got into that, man. I seen it though. Anti knows, you got that blood drop. Judy said, sounds fantastic live. You went with the guitar in the front. There you go. Mark said he got a 1977 Fender guitar he brought from a thrift store in 2009. Dang, dude. That's a good find, man. You don't find too much stuff in the thrift stores, man. It's very seldom that you walk in and find something cool like that. I don't think I'll ever find anything cool over there. All right, let's see. Let's unplug this. How do I got noise? Okay, we're going to unplug that. Let's see if this sticks. Don't go anywhere. All right, let's grab this acoustic, see what we can come up with. Oh, man. I don't have any new songs. We'll see if we can find some old songs. I got a bunch of old, weird songs to play for acoustic. And my nails haven't grown back yet, so I can't really do finger style too much anymore. Let's see, where's this? I think this is the channel for that. Let's see what I got. Got some weird old songs, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Thought I had some weird old songs. Let's see. I wonder what this would sound like. It's like heavy, but maybe we'll try this. See what it sounds like. Let's see. Mark said it's cherry red. Dang, dude. Yeah, my uncle's into those a lot. My uncle's got a ton of Fenders Strats, man. I only have two, but I think the oldest one I have is 2005. I don't know if I can do a black star in this. That's all I remember. Ever since I got this, I started playing with finger style, and I've been breaking all my nails and cracking them, and not been a good sign. Let's see, what's this one? this one here. It's not really a classical or something, but we could probably throw something down for it. Oh, let's see. Judy says, oh yeah, day complete. There you go. T-Bird said he only have a Fender Strat knockoff, Iron brand. He paid $48 for it from eBay. That's not a bad deal, man. If it's got wooden strings, man, it's something for sure. Donald says, there's a one streamer named Zarcourt that Tyler showed me. He has a beautiful nylon acoustic. The wood finish on is amazing. Nice. I'll check that out, man. Evan says, can we get some Phrygian style for the dew drinkers? I feel that, man. Gloria Ward, what's up? She says, good evening, everyone. I'm at work again, unfortunately. I feel that. True that, Mark. You never know, buddy. If I'm in town somewhere where you're at, I'll come check it out. Oh, excuse me. Evan says, solid top Yamaha nylon classical for me wasn't cheap. I'll bet, man. This was $1,100 altogether with tax and shipping and everything. It was, and these things are like $1,600 plus. These particular ones. I don't know. The dude selling it was I don't know. He's just trying to get rid of it, I guess. Like it was $880 plus tax plus shipping. It turned out like $1,100. But yeah, I seen ones just like this. They were starting at $1,600, and they weren't even black. They were like that wood grain. I was like, man, I want that black one. That would look sweet. Peter said, like an acoustic version of Chop Suey. There you go. I tried to do Speeder acoustic, and that was hard. That was real hard. Laura, thank you so much. Judy said, I really like this one. Thank you, Mark. Sorry, he taught me the Elder Scroll trick to become a guy. What? Oh, you using the console commands? That's how you do it. And it says, anyone know the name of a Polish YouTuber that always wears army boots and has a beard? That song reminds me of him. Polish YouTuber. I'm not sure who that is. All right, let's see what else I got. I'm going to try this one here. This one's called Pages Left and Turn. See. I don't know if I can pull this one off. We're going to try it anyway. There's a lot of cool bends in this one, so we'll try and figure it out here. crazy. I never played that on acoustic. There's a lot of bends. The solo's got tons of bends and crazy stuff like that. So I never tried that. That's pretty interesting for sure. Where's another one? I got another one here maybe. We could try one more. I played it on electric, but it's acoustic for sure. Let me see if I can find it. My God. Oh, maybe it's this one here. Okay, I think it's that one. All right. We'll do one more. Here we go. Let's see. Judy said, I bet docking would sound ground now. True that. Judy says, no, not console commands. All right. I don't know if you're playing on, yeah, because that's what we use on the PC. You can open up a whole console command board or whatever. You can type in, give player 100,000 gold or whatever, and that's how we would do it. There's a lot of crazy commands you can do. Evan says, wood is getting rare, so more expensive, especially rosewood. I feel that, man. Yeah. Judy says there's a trick using potions to craft higher level accessories. Yeah. I used to do that. What was it? I'd have like a ring on and some sort of chest piece and a necklace, and I could like do a necromancy table and make some crazy stuff with that. Mark says, make some money with me. I feel, dude, I'm an old dude, Mark, and my whole life I could count endlessly of how many people in this world that told me they could make money, they could make me money, they could do something for me, they could take me places I've never been, this, that, and the other thing. And all those people that talk never did nothing, man. Not a dang thing, man. It was all talk. So I just like to see action. I'm a guy that sees action. The only one in the world that ever did anything for me was Rob Rock. He was the guy that got me into his band and took me around the world, put me on albums, helped me get my solo album, and helped me propel my thing. That's the only guy in the world, and he never said nothing. He's never said nothing. He never said, I could do this, I could do that, we can make money, we're going to do this. It was like, I'm going to give you a chance, and I took it. But yeah, other than that, man, I can't imagine, I can't tell you, man. I used to have like super rich people that, in Orlando, when I lived in Orlando, these people had tons of money, and they wouldn't give me nothing. They wouldn't give me a dime. But they're like, oh, I can hook you up. I can take care of you. We got you. So I take it with a grain of salt, Mark. And I appreciate what you're saying, but I really do. But I take stuff like that with a grain of salt anymore in my life, because people talk. People can talk, but I never see action. That's what I don't see. But I appreciate you either way, buddy. See, he says, Mark, I can make you a star. I've heard it a million times, buddy. You ain't no different. These people, I see these people face to face in my life tell me that to my face. They told me that. And like I said, these people got all kinds of money, live in big houses up in Orlando. And I never saw a dime from them. I just worked and never saw nothing. So yeah, I feel you though, brother. I appreciate that. But yeah, if for people that want to take action, I've got a PayPal, I got a Venmo, I got a what's the other one? Cash App. I got all three of that stuff. I never see very much money come through there, and people say, "I'll donate." I never see much. There's a couple people that I have, and I do appreciate those people. But you gotta be wary these days. Ain't no doubt. But I do appreciate you, man, nonetheless. Let's see. Evan says Oliver Stone's another black metal. There you go. Donald said he getting mesmerized again. There you go, buddy. Nashikets, I do wish the guitars would be louder. I could try Nashikets. Yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard to get the volume on this. I've been trying to crank this up even more. I'll double the dBs on that for you, Nashikets, to see if that works. Laura Backlund, thank you so much. Hacksayer said I had that too. So much talk with people. It's true, man. It's true. And I take everything with a grain of salt. I've been around this world. I've traveled around this world. I've played in front of hundreds of thousands of people accumulatively. I started this YouTube channel, my social media with zero, and built it all basically by myself. I've had some help along the way, like Stardust. I paid someone to help me learn the ins and outs of everything. But other than that, I've had to work myself to do what I do. And now one person in 2 years, I'm still waiting on my Saudi prince to play his birthday party for $1 million or something. You know what I'm saying? So I don't buy into anything like that. You know, I look at action. You know, someone's got to take action, and I don't see it, and it's fine. You know, I'm doing what I do because I have fun doing it, and if something happens because of it, that's great. Oh, for sure. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Because I've seen it my whole life. What did Evan want? He would say he wanted some Phrygian notes. Some Phrygian. All right, what's the key of this tune here? That's a pretty cool tune. That's a pretty cool tune. All right, let's see. A lot of comments in there. Appreciate all the comments. Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot. What about this one? This one maybe only talking out. I can't remember what was. That's the only one I remember. I don't remember Walk Away. I remember the song Walk Away is a great tune. I don't know the riff of it though, but that was a cool one. Evan said the W band hasn't been mentioned once tonight, Rick. Checking the superstition. We're gonna. I forgot. We're gonna add the W band to the band list for tomorrow. So let's see. Yeah, that's right, Hacks. Just play for fun, man. You're welcome, Nashi Cat. Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate you, brother. T-Bird said he's still waiting for the Prince of Nigeria to give him his $2 million. I know. That's my dream, though. Someone from like Saudi Arabia is gonna be like, I love your guitar playing so much that I want you to play my birthday party, and I'm gonna pay you like 6 figures because they got billions of dollars there. Could happen. True that, Hacks. That's right. I know, right? Nashiket, thank you. All right, I'll keep it at that level then for the future. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's hard to figure it out because I sat there and I played. I would record a snippet of me playing it with the music, and then I play back. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Maybe a little lower. And I kept cranking it up. But yeah, I'll keep it at that level. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate it, Nashiket. Thanks for. Let me know. He says, yeah, the guitar was low, really perfect. No, okay, perfect, man, perfect. Evan said, that's fucking amazing, Rick. Do you have any acoustic recorded? No, I sure don't, man. I just got this guitar about a month ago or so. I used to record a long time ago when I was probably in my 20s. This girl bought me an Ovation. I can't remember what model it was. It was a real nice Ovation, and I had a 4-track, and I recorded all these guitar orchestras or something. It was like 8 tracks of guitars and doing all kinds of wild stuff. I might have that somewhere. Anti's got all the links to my stuff: Cash App, PayPal. Venmo. I mean, I never ask for anything, and if someone's in that mood, go for it. If not, like I said, always you being here, hanging out with me, and having a good time. That's what matters the most to me. It really does. But that stuff's out there. Hack says that nylon string sounds nice. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate you. Anti's got a link to some cool gear if you're into the shirts and coffee cups and all kinds of good stuff. The entire Rick Renstrom collection is available via that link. Evan says shredding is shredding, but this has real soul and heart. By far my favorite song. Very cool, man. Thank you so much. Nashiket said just basking in awesomeness. Thanks, appreciate that, Nashiket. Thank you, buddy. Anti's got the link to my Sweetwater page. So if you are interested in anything I use, unfortunately, besides the guitars, everything else that I use is on that page, including all the effects units I use, the interface, all the recording equipment and programming I do is all there on that page if you're interested. If you have any questions at all, just leave a comment somewhere and I will look into it. Thank you, Laura. Juji says Rick's talent plus this sound equals pure magic. Thank you, Juji. Anashka, there's an emotional vulnerability to the acoustic. Indeed, it's so clean. You have to be pretty precise. Donald James, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Cletus and Clovis in the house. They said, Rick, acoustic night. Yes, Cletus and Clovis in the house, my brother from a different mother. Here you go. Clovis loved that last song. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a newer song. I usually play it with electric guitar, but I was like, I figured I could put a little acoustic on it. I kind of forgot the key changes in it. Let's see. Glenn said it's so hard to play acoustic. Props, man. I appreciate that, Glenn. Yeah, I studied classical guitar in college. You know, I don't know too much anymore, but you know, I remember a lot of it. Play that one. Hack says this guy is great. He helped me with setting my studio up and my office software. That's awesome, Tax says. So I appreciate that. And I'm glad I could be there to help you. I really am. And I don't mind helping anybody that wants it and needs it. I'm there. Jude, you said that sounds so freaking good. Holy cow! There you go. It's crazy what a little volume will do, I guess. Donald James says, "Love Song by Tesla or What You Give by Tesla." I don't know any of that stuff. I don't remember hearing it. Nashi Kid, there you go, buddy. Thanks, Mark. Hack says, love to stay, but time for bed, church in the morning. I feel you, buddy. Yeah. I gotta eat something. I'm getting hungry. Evan said, LML, I wrote Sweetwater down as the name of that song. No, I don't know what the name of that song is. It has no name. I think it's I can tell you. I tell you what the title is in the thing here. 0410 2325. It's strange. I think I wrote it in 2023 and then just redid it recently. April, apparently. Hack Sesser, God bless you too, brother. Thank you so much. Donald says, I've heard that song. Yeah, I played it before. Evan says, King Diamond on acoustic. You know that song is. Donald James knows that song. Yeah, buddy. That's a good one. It sounds clean too. That sounds so clean. I think that's all I got for tonight. I think that's all we got. I can't think of anything else. I have to look through my songs and see what else is cooking in here for acoustic stuff. But I think that's good for tonight. We had some good times for sure. That's how we do on Saturday. We'll be back tomorrow night doing the old doing the jam. This is an intro to War of Thrones Aftermath. I'm trying to remember how it goes. How did that go? Something like that. All right, let's see. Thank you, Nashi Cat. Hey, Mark says, it's time for bed. I feel you, buddy. Have a good rest of your weekend. Donald says, Almighty, Almighty. You know that's right. Evan says, no Weezer or Green Day requests. Yeah, we're gonna hit. Yeah, it doesn't happen on the week. It doesn't happen on Saturday, buddy. Like I said, YouTube verticals. They just start pouring people at you sometimes, and they're all like, play my song. Play Green Day. Play Weezer riff, like I could just see them too. They're like drooling at the mouth, like wanting to hear Weezer riff or something, like, for real? And it's always like when I start some incredibly technical song too, like, oh, here's Symphony 40, everybody. Start going Symphony 40, and then bam, play AC/DC. You know, okay. Maybe you should have listened to the song a little bit more. I don't know how's that go? I don't think I'm in the right key for it. How does it go? That's like. Something like that. I only know the riff, is all I know. Don says, people get mad when we make fun of Weezer and Green Day. I know. That one guy was like a complete, like, he was like some defense attorney. I see that on Instagram a lot, you know. It's like some troll put some stupid comment, and I'll reply with a diplomatic comment. Nothing bad, nothing weird, just a diplomatic comment. And there's always some Instagram defense lawyer that swoops in like, hey man, you can't say that to the troll. Troll life worth something. You can't say that. And I get back and forth with the Instagram defense lawyer, and we go back and forth to the point I'm like, I just delete the whole comment. I'm like, go away. Evan said, you sound like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. I know, right? I watch that show so much. Play. There was this kid, man. One of my buddies, John, at work. He told me a story like he was like playing Call of Duty, and some kid was like, Steven, are you in here? Hello, Steven, are you in here? And it always reminded me like some of these kids that ask for it. Hey, play Metallica. I want to hear Weezer. I want to hear Advanced Sevenfold, man. Play Through the Fire and Flames. Like, dude. And funny enough, I learned part of the Fire and Flames really just shut those people up. Because they're like, all right, that's a hard song. I was like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. BV Lewin said, wait, that's not right. You know it is. Got something different going on tonight, brother. Got something different. Yeah, true that down. That's classic. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate you. Thank you, Juji. That was a fun one tonight for sure. We had a good time. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that, brother. All right, well, that is all for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and eat something. I don't know what we're going to eat, but I'm going to do that. Juji said, troll lives matter. Troll lives matter in hell, for sure. Just like Indiana Jones said, I'll see you in hell for a show. Cletus got his grandson Grady watching that. He loved it. That's awesome. Well, shout out to Grady. Good to see y'all, man. That's awesome, man. Evan said, I think Beaver and Butthead have a scene playing out Weezer. Probably. Well, yeah, Butthead was like, hey, Beavis, what's that Weezer sound like?
Weezer. I don't like no Weezer.
Yeah, that's Beavis and Butthead right there. Charles Long said, yo, checking in. Hope you're doing well. Hope I'm able to jump back soon. Awesome, Charles. It's great to see you, brother. I'll be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. We'll do the vertical jam as well. All right, Glenn, have a great night, buddy. I appreciate that, my man. I got to scrounge something up here for sure. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. I truly appreciate it as usual. Saturdays are always nice and chill. Zach G, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. But yeah, for sure, we'll be back tomorrow night doing it again. Back to the vertical shreds. It's been a weird, long week for sure. And last night I think we got it back to the normal viewership last night. It was pretty wild. Don says Beavis and Butthead would never wear a Weezer shirt. I know, right? Never. That's funny, but yeah. So taking a week off kind of screwed me up, and I'm trying to claw my way back to some views on the vertical stream. So we got looking good last night. So we'll crank it out tomorrow and probably get back to normal next week. But anyway, thanks everyone for hanging out. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend and night. You know how I do. I want you to stay safe out there. I want you to be good to each other. I want you to take care of each other, because that's all we got in this world. So appreciate it. If I don't see you tomorrow, we'll see you next week sometime. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Take it easy, everybody, and we'll see you then. Have a good one.